Welcome back, guys, or if you're new to my channel, this is Automotive Anonymous, and here we have the turbo trim levels of each of these vehicles that do host the 2.5 liter turbo engine. So we have the CX-5, we have the CX-30, and we have the CX-50. These two are first generation vehicles. The CX-5 has been around for quite a while, but this is the second generation. So all of these have the 2.5 liter turbo engine. They can also be offered with a naturally aspirated engine that does 0 to 60 in a lot of my testing, 9 to 11 seconds. But these turbos are usually pretty fast. They're usually about 3 seconds faster than their naturally aspirated counterparts, at least in my area where we are at a little bit of altitude, but it is a very cold day today. So I think these vehicles are gonna be making a lot of horsepower. So we're gonna do some 0 to 60 on GPS testing so that you guys can see the graphs and you can decide for yourself how fast you think they are. I speculate that the CX-30 is the fastest, being the lightest weight at about 3,000 to 3,300 pounds, and then the CX-5 at 3,300 to 3,600 pounds, and then I think this is gonna be the slowest. It weighs 3,600 to 3,900 pounds. Basically, the lower poundage rating is gonna be if it's a naturally aspirated one with fewer options, and the higher poundage rating is honestly probably these with the turbo and all the luxurious creature comforts that they have. The outer two are compact crossovers. The CX-30 is a subcompact crossover, and I think its weight's gonna win. So we're gonna save that for last. We're gonna start with the heaviest first, the CX-50, and then we'll do the CX-5, and then we'll wrap it up with this. And again, like I mentioned, I'll do two 0 to 60s for each, side by side with the graph so that you guys can tell what you think. And if you get anything out of this video today, please consider liking this video. Comment your thoughts and opinions below. Which one do you think is gonna be the second place and the third place? Because I think we know who's gonna be first place. Anyways, guys, let's get right into this. All these tests will be in sport mode with traction control off. We'll start off of idle in the CX-50. Keep in mind, density altitude's 3,000 feet, and this probably just has 87 octane, so chances are it is down on power about 10% compared to what it could have at sea level with 91 octane. Off of idle, let's go. And the CX-50 off of idle at a true time of 7.96 seconds. That's not too bad. But with the brake rev, I think it can do a little bit better. Yep, and true 0 to 60 came in at 7.51, so about 0.4 of a second better. I'm now in the Mazda CX-5 with the turbo, and I'm just lining up on the private road. We are still in sport mode. Let's see what this one can do. Off of idle, let's go. And true 0 to 60 came in a little bit faster at 7.48. Now with the brake rev. A little bit of wheel spin. True 0 to 60 came in at 6.75, quite a bit faster. I'm on my way to now go pick up the CX-30, and I'm really curious if the 30 is gonna have the same gap that the 5 had over the 50. I knew this was gonna be faster. I wasn't necessarily expecting over a half second faster, so that is pretty impressive, and I'd love for you guys to comment below what you think the 30 is gonna do, assuming it is in fact faster than this one. It is pretty cool how this spun the front wheels just a little bit. The CX-5, even on regular octane fuel, it just pulls very nicely. So now imagine at sea level, or even on a cold density altitude day, not even at 3,000 feet above sea level like I am today, and on a sticky track where you're gonna have a little bit better traction, and with 91 or higher octane fuel, this thing is probably quite the ripper for being a compact crossover family SUV. Last but certainly not least, I am in the CX-30 Turbo. I feel like this is a really good vehicle for someone who maybe wants like a muscle car or a sports coupe or something, and you just can't do it. You need a larger back seat, or you need a full 4-door design. This thing might fit the bill. It's incredibly sporty, it handles really well. There's basically just enough body roll to give you some fun, but also it's stiff enough and it's kind of buttoned down enough that you have a good sense of where you're going. It doesn't necessarily turn any faster than a lot of crossovers that compete against it, and even the bigger size. It still takes 36 feet to do a full circle, which is decent, but it's not better than those ones. But it just feels so direct, so sharp. There's not really any like wiggle room before you actually start going. The weight of the wheel is even pretty heavy how it's tuned, so it feels really good in the hand and really confidence inspiring on the road. I highly recommend you guys at some point test drive one of these. It's a pretty fun experience. 0 to 60 off of idle in the CX-50, 3, 2, 1. Not bad. 0 to 60 came in about 0.2 faster than the CX-5 at 7.23. And my favorite with a brake rev. Definitely some wheel spin. Slow shift in the second. And still a 7.05. So that was kind of interesting. Maybe with all the wheel spin, it didn't quite match the CX-5, but still a very quick little car. So while none of these vehicles are built for speed, I do think doing, you know, high 6 to 7 seconds something, 0 to 60 in all of these family SUVs is nothing to gawk at. Those are pretty impressive times, especially where these are all suffering from a triple whammy. Again, high elevation, lower octane fuel. We're not on a sticky drag strip as well, and they don't all have the same final drive ratio. There are a few differences between each of these vehicles, so I am a little bit surprised that the CX-50 with the revved boosted launch did the best in today's testing. Sure, we could go beat on these vehicles some more. We could try to lower the tire pressure because of the wheel spin. We could do a few other things to try to maximize the pressures and the times a little bit further, but is it ultimately worth it? No. On the street, are you ever gonna do a brake rev in your crossover SUV? Probably not. You're gonna go off of idle. All of these have enough power to pass. At 40 miles per hour, it downshifts quick. It does a good job getting you back up to speed if you have to pass someone on the highway or the freeway. Ultimately, these are very good vehicles, and I like to drive them. They're fun. They feel a lot more sporty and defined and refined than a lot of the other vehicles. They just are fun to drive, and Mazda has designed a really good crossover at that. They're not perfect. I have plenty of reviews on these and other vehicles as well, and they do lack a lot in the storage compartment and backseat room, but in sportiness, in value for the price, in performance, it's hard to beat one of these. And this is a really fun video to make. This was a really fun couple vehicles to drive for you guys today. So if you got anything out of this video review, please consider liking my video. Comment your thoughts and opinions below. What else do you want to see? Let me know. I like to interact with you guys in the comments, and I like to take your ideas into consideration. This is a small vehicle. You can see on the 360-degree camera, it's easy to park, and it's just a joy to drive. So I wish you guys the best. I'll quit rambling on and we'll end this video here. See you guys.